also welcome, of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, dear my friend Roberto. First of all, for your transparency and very open discussions. Of course, you were right that we are frequently in touch with you, with President Seleteli, and discussing the current agenda of the Assembly and what can be useful for us to put forward. But of course, you know that this is really important that today we managed to gather together as a members of Standing Committee. This is why I'd like to greet all of you from Baku and wish you a good health and a collective victory over the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, it is also great to see such intensive schedule of online meetings held by the OSCE PA, and I thank very much President Soretile and Roberto, you as Secretary General, of course, all other teams working together with you for providing us with such a crucial platform for regular discussions. Dear colleagues, as Roberto rightly mentioned, that I wish to speak about many other issues occupying the political agenda of international organizations, particularly on the consequences of COVID-19 pandemic and our joint response to this terrible health crisis. But I am compelled to focus on the most challenging issue in our region related to conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan, because it's really very boring issue and a very crying issue for the region. And I do deem necessary to give some updates on the current situation of the conflict settlement and negotiation process. Dear friends, unfortunately, the situation still remains tense and dangerous after all these years of failed international efforts and Azerbaijan's unsuccessful attempt to hold the result-oriented negotiations with Armenia, which openly rejects by all means. The present state of affairs makes it inevitable to notice that there is a real risk for the military escalation due to the unconstructive and provocative behavior of Armenia. This is the reason why I decided to inform the Assembly on the issue. To completely understand the ongoing tendencies concerning the Armenian-Azerbaijan conflict, I invite you to take a look at the chronology of relevant events which took place over the last 4 months. In March-April 2020, Armenia stages the two-act play in the occupied Nagorno-Karabakh region of the Republic of Azerbaijan by holding the 2 rounds of the illegal so-called elections, which were heavily rejected and denounced by the international community, including OSCE. But the question is, did Armenia take any lessons from this condemnation? Not at all. Because already in April 2020, the Armenian political leadership openly criticized the statement made by Russian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Sergei on the step-by-step resolution of the conflict. Instead of accepting the truth, Armenia continues with its endless attempts to preserve the status quo and hamper the peace talks. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan's visit to the occupied city of Shusha of Azerbaijan in May to participate at the so-called inauguration ceremony held for the illegal and puppet regime's leadership is yet another provocation destroying the very essence of the peaceful settlement. I am sure that you are well informed about the recent joint statement adopted here in the European Parliament on June 10 concerning the illegal construction of a highway between Armenia and the occupied Nagorno-Karabakh region of Azerbaijan, where the European Parliament condemned Armenia's such unlawful acts in occupied Azerbaijan territories and reiterated its full support to the territorial integrity, sovereignty, and internationally recognized inviolability of internationally recognized borders of Azerbaijan. Besides that, already since the last year, the French court started to officially confirm the invalidity of so-called memorandums signed between the representatives of the popular region of the occupied lands of Azerbaijan and several French municipalities. Up to this date, almost all such agreements have been abolished as illegal acts by the relevant courts of France. Dear friends, Azerbaijan continues to propose the all-for-all exchange of hostages and war prisoners as part of the confidence-building measures, but without any adequate feedback from Armenia. Now the legitimate question arises: what else should be done if Armenia continues to refuse to end the conflict by just and peaceful means? What is the alternative to the peaceful and negotiated solution? In my view, the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairmanship must find an answer to these questions and utilize all tools at its disposal to bring Armenia at the negotiation table as soon as possible. Thank you for your attention.